In this video, we will be discussing the formulas for the volume of the cone, pyramid, and the sphere. First, let's start by a comparison between the volumes of the cone and the cylinder. First, we know previously that the cylinder consists of just a circular base. There is a circular base there that has got an area of pi r squared, and there is a height there. This is the height. Let's call it h. If a cylinder has got a base of area pi r squared, a circular base of area pi r squared, and a height of h, we know previously that this area must be this volume of that cylinder is just equal to the area of the base pi r squared multiplied by the height h. This is the formula for the volume of the cylinder. On the other hand, we want now to just give a glimpse. How are we gonna compare these two volumes of the cylinder and the cone? Let's look at that animation. We can see here that if there is a cone with height 5 and a circular base, as shown there, there is a cylinder that can contain that cone exactly. That is, one base of the cylinder below coincides with the base of the cone, and the upper base of the cylinder contains the top point, which is B in that case, of the cone. So there is a cylinder that contains the cone, provided that they have got the same height and the same circular base. In that case, and with some mathematical proofs that are not required in this stage, we can prove that the volume of the cone is just equal to 1/3 of the volume of the cylinder that contains it. As we see here, there is a cylinder that contains the cone, so just calculate the volume of the cylinder that contains that cone, then just take 1/3 of the answer. So it is 1/3 of that thing here, provided that those have got similar heights and similar areas for the base. So the volume of the cone is just 1/3 times the volume of the cylinder that contains it. So 1/3 times pi r squared multiplied by h. We know that these are just copies of each other. Pi r squared h, pi r squared h. When we have got a cylinder, we just write pi r squared h for the volume. When we've got a cone, we just take 1/3 of that. Okay, the easiest way to memorize that is just to memorize that the volume of the cone is just 1/3 of the volume of the cylinder that contains it. So you just memorize one formula and one concept. Great. So let's look at an example now. Suppose that there is a cylinder there. Suppose that there is a cone there with diameter. The diameter for the base with a diameter of 10 centimeters. And suppose that this cone has got a height h, which equals to just 5 centimeters, and we would like to calculate the volume of that cone. Okay, according to that formula there, the volume is just equal to 1/3 multiplied by the number pi, multiplied by the radius, which is half the diameter. This is the diameter. So this is 2r is 10. We want just 1r, which is 5. So times pi r squared multiplied by the height, which is in this case happens to be 5. This is only a coincidence. Okay, so the volume is just 1/3 pi times 5 squared times 5. You can just calculate this in your calculator to find it as 125. Okay, and of course, before we go further and calculate this volume, finally this volume will be having a unit cubed. So what unit must be there? So we just go back and look what was the unit for the length of the radius, just centimeters. What was the unit for the height? It just was centimeters. So the unit for the volume will be the same of that unit but cubed. So centimeters cubed. This is the unit of the volume. Okay, what about the number itself? We just go to the calculator, just type, as you see, 1/3 times, here it is, pi times 125 times pi times 125, and it is 130.8099. Okay, 130.9 for one decimal place, 130.9 for just one decimal place, centimeters cubed, and that's it.